Hello. How are
Hello.
you?
I'm doing well, and you?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Another day. Another day. How
Another
you
day, another
doing?
dollar.
How you doing?
I am doing well. How are
Good.
you?
I'm all right. This day kind of sped by, it feels, but that's how it be. That's how it be. If you don't know, I'm Ashley.
And if you don't know, I'm Toniah.
You're listening to another episode of
Hue I Do.
a podcast that is going to get some of these takes off. Before we go into our episode, want to make a few announcements. I want to give Church Mother right now. Let's give some announcements. So, one, thank you, Hue Boos, for rocking with us this 3.5 years. Still so excited, still have so much coming this year for y'all. But the first thing we want to do is start fielding your questions. Like, if y'all have any questions for us, if y'all have anything y'all want us to answer or talk about, please let us know. When this episode comes out, you're definitely like check our stories, check our posts, check our link in our or the link in our bio. You'll be able to see like where you can like leave your questions. And if you want to leave like a voice note version that's played in the episode, you can do that. Or if you just want to type a question, you can also do that. And if you want to be anonymous, that's fine. But we want to start being able to answer your questions, and we want to bring in some of our favorite vendor friends to answer your questions as well. So that's the first thing we're putting out there. And the second thing is we are going to start reading some of y'all's amazing reviews on here. And if we end up reading one of your reviews and you let us know, we may send you something. So if you haven't left us a review, go do so. If you have left one, you know you can update it. But anyway, just wanted to say that real quick. We have some more stuff coming soon, but I just wanted to put that out there. Also, no new host on this podcast. It's still just Toniah and I holding it down as we've always done. And as y'all have loved us for doing so for so long.
What you mean ain't no new host?
Look, some of these other podcasts be having to get new hosts every, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 months. We've been holding it down this whole time. We haven't had any host changes on this show.
Oh, you know what? That's true. That's true. It's still Ashleigh and Toniah.
We're holding it down, and we're going to keep holding it down. Like, this is what you come here to hear. That's what you're going to get. I mean, from now on, there and here, we may bring in a guest host so the other can kind of take a week off or whatever, but you ain't got to worry about no switching up over here. we locked in.
If we locked in,
ain't no switching up. But just kind of wanted to put that out there. For us, we feel like we're just going to continue to improve on the things we've been, the stuff that works for us and the stuff that we've been wanting to do. So yeah.
I mean, it can only get better from here.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no getting worse.
But yeah, so just kind of wanted to put that out there. Y'all are going to enjoy this episode. I low-key, we had so much fun. So yeah, y'all are going to enjoy it. We have a very special guest with us. Guest, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Cara Davis Little of Wimberly Co. I am an attorney / part-time wedding planner who's taking a little time off right now to be a mom. But yeah, I'm excited to be back.
Yay, we're excited to have you. You've been on here. What is this?
I feel like this is like a fourth time.
Is it fourth?
It feels like it.
Well, yeah.
I think so, because she was here originally with, like, it was a group chat.
We had more than one group one with you.
Mm-hmm.
We
That's
had,
true. And then I did the individual one. That is true. It is the fourth time.
And the race one. When we were talking about being Black and, yeah. Dang, I didn't realize it was 4 times.
Basically, I'm the third member, so just add me to the roster.
Yeah. my gosh. We are so happy to have you back because you are always a good time. I feel like every time we've had you on, we've had good times. I can't say that for everybody. I can say that for you. You can keep
I've been listening.
Check it out.
I've been listening. That's all I'll say. Let me stop. I'm not throwing shade on people.
You good. How have we all been? Like, last time we talked to you, you didn't even have a child. Like, this was not, you weren't even pregnant. This was pre Iris. So how's it like? Because you got a whole toddler now. It's not even just like an infant. You have a toddler. I
have an entire toddler. She started toddlering probably at 10 months. And I was like, this can't be right. She's not even one. It was, yeah. It's been really beautiful, but also insane. I think it's when people, this whole cliche of like, parenthood is so rewarding, but it's really hard. It's like, you're like, yeah, okay, whatever. Mm-hmm. But then you do it and you're like, yeah, like the last 2 nights she has not wanted to sleep. And that means that nobody in the house got sleep. So I literally am probably working off 4 hours in 48 hours. But she's like toddlering. She started walking at 10 months, which is also like crazy to watch. And then she's like, the development is like crazy. I mean, she said mama first, shout out to being the favorite parent.
Aww.
And now she says mommy, and it's like very clear. And I'm like, wow. I mean, she's only, 13 months. So, and she says daddy, very clear. Our dog's name is Bax, and she can't say her X sound yet, but she says Bax. She's very like aware, and she speaks very well already. And she's super musical. So she loves to dance. Any sign, I don't care what the music is. It could be river dance music. She's dancing. It's like, so I'm tuning into it and watching her because I'm like, okay, this is, people also say like, what your child likes and stuff. And you're like, whatever. Mm-hmm. But you really do. You watch them and you're like, okay, like she's really into music. So anyway, all that to say, it's a journey. We go back and forth every day about whether we want another one because it's tough. but it's cute, but she's really cute. So it's like, but it's exciting too.
Aww.
So yeah.
So sweet. I've been like
saving. I've been Toniah, I haven't seen you since your wedding.
I know. Life has been a little bit busy for me. I don't know if I've said this on the podcast. Maybe I have. I don't know, but I'm in school, but I'm done next week. And so I feel like I can breathe. Because I haven't been breathing. Well, I have, but So
by the time this airs, you'll be done with school.
Yes, I will be done. Okay. And hopefully, because I'm ready. Because I feel like during planning, well, I was in school while, of course, we were planning the wedding. And then like literally went on my honeymoon, came back, and it was like finals time. So it's like nonstop. But but I'm almost done. And so I'm excited about that. I can, see the light.
Congratulations in advance.
Thank you.
Are you doing nurse practitioner? What are you?
Yeah, so I am a nurse practitioner, but I'm getting my certificate in psych. So I'll be able to see psych patients officially. I can see them now, but anyways, so I'll be done with that, and I'm not going back to school, y'all.
I can't wait.
That's what they all say, and then they be right back.
No. I'm ready to like start a family, and I mean, like just hearing you talk about your journey, it's tough, and I know that people do it all the time. Like they're in school, they have a husband, and they have kids, but like I know that I can't handle that struggle, even though it's not a struggle. But I know I can't juggle all of that. So. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and close this chapter and focus on the future. Mm-hmm.
It is a struggle. I just want you to know. It is.
That's what I keep hearing. Like one of our homegirls is like, look, you can have the supportive husband. It is still a lot, and it is still a lot that is on you because you are the mother. Like it doesn't matter. He could wake up every time the baby cries in the middle of the night. There are certain things that you have to be the one, and you have like nobody else can do. And so it's just another thing that is put on you that you have to manage and deal with. And I'm just like, I'm still not there yet. I'm not there. I'm being geriatric.
I mean, technically you already are, so.
I mean,
30, baby, so
that's true.
fine.
Like, nah, give me a little time.
When I have patients who are like in their 40s and like they're like, yeah, I had my last baby at like 42. I'm like, okay, all right. So, I mean,
yeah, it's doable.
It's definitely doable.
I feel like that's gonna be me. I feel like I'm gonna accidentally have not the first child, but I feel like hopefully it would just be a second child when we're done. But that'll be the oops, you're 43 and now you're pregnant. It's like, this is fine. This is fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be 40. That is my thing. I'm like, I want to, and I don't want to be 40. So anything up to 40, I'm like, okay. But I think my mindset was apparently, this is what I heard, and I don't want to scare anybody, but the first 5 years are basically terrible. So either you do the first 5 years now while you're younger and you're sprightly, or you do them at 40 and you're dead to the bed. So it's yeah. Because the first 5 years are tough because, I mean, when they're little and then, starting school and stuff like that. Once they hit 5, you're good to go. But it's just a matter of when you want to have the quote unquote hard times.
Mm-hmm. Listen, like I call her like my second mom, but basically she has 2 little girls she's their godmom. Her best friends, they're like, I think her best friend had her first child at the age of like 43, if I'm not mistaken. And then like the next one came, like 2 years later. Her and her husband, I think they are in their 50s now, but they're like tired. Because like they're running around, they're in ballet, they got soccer, they got dance, they got swim. The wife, I think like she's like VP of a company or something like that. So when they get home, they can't just rest because they have to tend to the kids. And so I'm like, dang, like I didn't think about that. Like they're tired, like they're nearing maybe like their retirement, but they still have 2 little girls to take care of. I mean, like, granted, they enjoy it, but they're tired.
And they're probably seeing, like, all their friends with these, like, 12, 15, 18-year-old kids, and here they are with these babies. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm.
Like, we know folks that we went to high school with that are, like, their kids are in high school.
Girl,
right now.
They're on, like, their 4th child. And I'm like, dang.
I know people who have grandchildren right now.
Are you serious?
Our age. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like there's something to it. I mean, sure, I didn't want to have nothing at 18, but there's something to be said about being 36, 35, 36, and already being a grandmother and like being done. Like,
right.
I'm not mad at it, but
I mean, look. Because you're living your life instead of like being in your 60s and still like I think of my brother is 16, but they had him when they were like in their 40s, like mid 40s. Like
they're tired.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to. It's gonna be me though.
But no pressure at all. People do it every day.
Oh yeah,
like,
that's true.
People do it every day, and people have been doing it. I mean, biblical. We talking about 70-year-old having a baby, so people do it.
That's true.
It's just it's really just I think it's do you want kids? Period. And if you want them, the age don't matter because you're gonna do what you need to do for them regardless. It's just a matter of whether you're going to be tired or a little bit tired or really, really tired. That's really, it's just a scale. It's a sliding, that's really it. So,
oh my goodness.
I feel like at this age, like we can afford things, so if we need help, we can afford a babysitter or a night nurse or a live-in. I mean, well, I don't have the live-in type money yet, but, but people... Yeah. Like we have that, as we get older. So
it's one of the parts of marrying later or having kids later. Whereas, the age our parents had us and, like what could we have done if we were, no, absolutely not. So,
yeah,
no.
I mean, my mom had me at 15. I was a complete and total idiot at 25. So I already know. I already know at 15.
Right.
Absolutely not. But she's 51 and she'll be 51 this year. And she has a grandchild and she's living her best life.
Yeah.
She got a younger husband. You know, she's out here.
She look good. She look real good.
She really does.
There's something to it, but it's, what would we have done? I mean, our children would be scarred like we are. That's what would happen. They would have to be in therapy.
And can you imagine like the people we were then and the people we were with then? Like,
amen.
Oh my God. I saw somebody, I can't remember what the video was on TikTok, but somebody was like, can you imagine like if I was married to the person I was with at 25, 26? No, absolutely not. I was like, God's grace, because
Tell you.
Woo, goodness.
Oh my God. I dated somebody in my 20s that couldn't even speak complete sentences, baby. I was like, I don't know what he's saying, but we out here.
I dated somebody that needed me to get him a payday loan. So, you know.
Not the payday loan.
I remember I told him, I will do this one time. I will never do this again. Because, like, you older than me. You make more than me. How does this make sense? But anyway, we are on the other side of things.
Crazy. Want to do it because, honey. Oh.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes. So we are going to go into this or that, which we do every single time. And of course, because you're our guest, Cara, we're going to let you go first. Then Toniah, you'll answer, and then circle back around. I'm be honest, I must have forgotten the fourth. So we're just going to do 3 rounds of this. But it's fine. Like, this isn't scary at all. Like, it's perfectly fine. So what would you prefer to receive? A handwritten thank you or a printed thank you?
I would prefer to receive a handwritten thank you, but I also understand how hard it is to write 200 thank you notes.
Mm-hmm.
So I am guilty of doing a printed, and everybody got the same one.
That's fine.
So thank you for coming.
Be blessed.
Right, be blessed.
What about you, Toniah?
The same, because I mean, I know for me, I wanted to write it out. However, the way that Brandon bothered me every week for the past month, maybe month and a half, about getting out the thank you cards or whatever, I was like, oh no, these don't have to be printed. So yeah, he didn't follow the 3 or 6 month rule or whatever. He was like, oh no, that's too long. We got to get these out ASAP. Ooh. So it was crazy.
It's a year, actually. The rule is a year.
Oh, it is? Oh, okay. Well,
I thought it was.
That's etiquette wise, it's a year.
I thought it was 6 months. Thank goodness, because
it's a year.
Everybody got theirs in month 11 from me.
No, I think we got ours out. I think
y'all were good.
Maybe in May.
Yeah, it was.
But it's all because of Brandon. It's all because of Brandon. Because I mean, and I still have some to send out that I haven't sent out.
Girl,
no, because some people have moved or whatever, Yeah. So but I promise to get everything done once I'm done with school. Like I can focus on that. But yeah, I'm almost there. Anyways, but yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I like a good handwritten thank you, so I'm gonna say handwritten, but I do understand the printed. But I think if you have a small crowd, you could write it. You could bust it out. You got more than 125, you can print it. It's fine. Okay. So round 2. Would you prefer, so this is just from the time you meet someone, would you prefer to marry this person after 18 weeks or after 18 years? Yeah, it's a range.
It depends on how old I am. That's,
let's say you met them at 22.
Okay, if I meet them at 22, 18 weeks is how many months for? Close to 5 months,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
6 months. I'm 22. Ugh. I'm gonna say 18 weeks. Waiting 18 years at 22 is a lot. That's 40.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be like, absolutely not. Because then we get married and then we have to immediately start having kids. And
Oh, that's yeah.
yeah. And I feel like maybe you could really know someone in 5.5 months if you're like really doing some soul searching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll go 18 weeks.
Okay.
Man, like I'm just thinking about like when I was 22, like I wasn't ready to be anybody's wife at all. Also, I feel like these days it's like it's kind of hard. Like, yeah, like you hear these stories about people getting married in like 4 weeks and, you know, and like a month or 2 months. But it's just like I'm gonna need a whole background check because I don't know your family. Like, I don't know. Like, do you have a baby out there? Like, do you have a whole wife out there? Are you know? Like, I need to know these things. Like,
You could do that in 18 weeks.
You could.
I mean,
What if the 18 weeks encompasses all the major holidays? So it's like Thanksgiving,
right?
Easter.
You gotta go over somebody's
You
family
gotta
house.
go to somebody's house.
You gonna meet they aunties, they
That's
uncles,
true.
the play cousins, the play aunties.
yeah. I mean, for the sake of this question, but not in real life, I would say 22. But I can't. I can't. But yeah, I would just go with 22 because, like you said, at 40 years old, it's
Yeah.
like, dang, like, granted, people still get married at 40, you know, and God is blessing you.
I'll just go with 18 years just so that someone that's listening feels seen. I mean, because, like, you know, that's like for some Black women, that is the reality. They're
Oh, yeah, that's
marrying
true.
somebody at that point because
Yeah.
that other person was like maybe in school or maybe they were in the military and then they came out and then wanted to go to school. And then maybe the school, like, it wasn't enough just to get their bachelor's. Like, they had to go to grad school too. So they've been on this, baby, once I get to this point, I can do this. And then, you know, like maybe they got to that point in their career, was able to save up. Like, you was there with them for the whole ride. So
You was there shooting in the gym. Like, you were. Mm-hmm. That's a
Okay.
long time. It's a
It
long
is.
time.
And for the chance that it could also not work out, you know,
That's the
like,
one.
but for this instance, I'll just go with the 18 years because on the other side, there's, you know, greener pastures, I guess. Anyway. All right. Round 3. This is real easy. And this is because the TV show is about to come out. Best man or best man holiday?
Oh, I love both. I'm gonna go best man holiday only because it's a
Okay.
little bit more emotional than the first one. It really tugs at your heartstrings.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a full circle story. You get to see like how they, you know, how they grew up, quote unquote. And like, you know, I thought it was like an amazing sequel. It was like an excellent sequel. One of the best, I would say, sequels. So I'm gonna go best man holiday. I'm also a sucker for Christmas movies. So
Okay.
You know, I love all. Like, I am team all Black movies. Like, no matter if you go straight to BET, VH1, you know, I don't care. But I'm gonna go with the first best man. Like,
Okay.
I could watch that every month.
Okay.
I mean, I still watch Love Jones like often.
can we just segue real quick about Love Jones because some of it don't make sense. Do you agree with that? I mean, it's a
Wait,
good
what
movie,
about?
but-
Wait, hold up! You coming for me?
Wait, what part
I
though?
like Love Jones, but some of the love story was slightly weird.
What part?
It was unrealistic. Like
Yeah.
it was.
The fact that one, she was with the homeboy first, which, okay. And then, like, they were both like,
Wait, hold up. No, she was with like a boyfriend who was not part of the friend group first.
Didn't she go out with Bill Bellamy?
She did, but that was later. That was later. Yeah.
Oh,
After, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So
the storyline, we don't have to get into it. I ain't trying to, I like black movies too.
You already brought it up.
She like the door is open.
The door is already
Step in.
You know, it was a good movie. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna, you know, it was good. It was black and it had the classic blacks in there, and it was
the classic black.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
They were both problematic people. Like,
that's what it was.
They were just both like toxic, and everyone paints it as like this beautiful love story, and it's like it really was not. It really wasn't. Like it finally got to that point at the end, but it was a very long suffering way to get there.
But people actually go through that these days. Like
they do. They was going through it then too. That's why they made a movie after. It's just more common now.
Yeah.
You see it all the time, but the cinematography and the music of it, it was just like, I think that's the thing that people love. Like, they forget the actual story. They're just so caught up in like beautiful black people at a jazz club all the time. Like
a poetry.
The rain scene.
Yeah.
Very sexy.
Lots of vibes.
The dancing, the dancing in the club and stuff.
Exactly. It gives like Instagram aesthetics.
For sure.
In a movie. But the fact that it came out in the 90s makes it even more like ahead of time, when it's like, not really, but that's fine.
Yeah. I'm going to let you have it though, Toniah. I'm not going
because you said Love Jones and it was just like fighting words immediately on site. Needed to know.
Immediately.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait for Ed to hear this when he listens to this episode, because he hates Love Jones.
Are you serious?
Everything in him. Yes.
I never knew this.
Hates it.
So you don't like him no more?
I mean, you know what? I might get him the DVD for Christmas. You never know.
That'd be hilarious, because I'm just not going to say nothing. No, it's between y'all, ain't got nothing to do with me. Anyway. All right, so let's talk about these like hot takes. I've always wanted us to have like this type of episode where we just like go through random takes and just like get off our opinions, because there's so many. And like the fact that you are in the wedding industry, so you see some of this stuff a little bit more intimately now. And the fact that we've all been through our weddings, we see stuff on the other side. Not what you sighing for?
Oh, I didn't know you could hear me.
I couldn't, but I could see.
Oh, yeah.
Like, anyway, so
Oh.
I'm still going through some stuff today. Today.
Wait a minute. No, you're not. We need to talk.
Hot
Okay.
take.
Hot take. That's a hot take. For me.
Yeah, that's a hot take.
All right, so we are going to all just put in our own personal takes on some of these wedding opinions. Some of this, it doesn't have to be that controversial, but you know, sometimes it is. Like, sometimes this is actually stupid and we just need to put it out there. But kind of similar to this or that, we're all going to be able to, you know, say our piece. So to basically start, when it comes to kind of still thinking of like the best man and best man holiday, would you be fine if somebody got proposed to or engaged at your wedding, like during your reception? Is that the time?
It's never the time to propose to anyone at somebody else's wedding. Never.
Not even with the permission of the bride. Because, you know, sometimes it's like, oh, well, my brother's girlfriend is here and he asked me. And so, like, I see those videos.
I wish somebody would ask me. That's all I'm going to say. No, absolutely not. I have paid all of this money to make this venue look like it looks.
Right.
All these people to be here for you to be eating and drinking. And you're going to sit up here and take all of this and make it the background. And my photographer's going to be probably taking pictures. Absolutely not.
For free.
For free.
for
Absolutely
free.
not. And
I
I'm
didn't think
going to
about that.
upload them and give them to you. Absolutely not.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh,
No.
being cheap on somebody else's dime.
And then my DJ is going to be playing a song for y'all. No.
Right. This is
On
not
my
about
time.
y'all.
On my time.
Yeah.
On my
Yeah.
day.
On
Because
my
this is the
yeah.
one day that's all about the couple. Right. And no.
All the stress, all the buildup leading up to that day for your monkey to like try to steal the shine is disgusting to me. It's absolutely disgusting.
I mean, but then also, like, you would want her family and maybe even your family to be there, you know? So I'm not inviting both, you know, like both sides of the family to my wedding.
Or like her best friends, people you don't really even know like that or
exactly.
are cool with, like
exactly. And so why would you want to do it at, you know, at me and my husband's wedding? Like, why would you want to do that? And I'm pretty sure hopefully you're creative, you know, so I'm pretty sure that you would want to tune into your creative side, you know, to surprise her or him, you know, but yeah, no.
These folks sometimes don't be that creative to me. They just take you to Maggiano's and propose it.
You're right. You're right. But you know, I have only seen, we could cut this out if it's, I've only seen white people do that. I ain't seen nobody do that in a black wedding.
Same. I only saw it in the movie. That's the only black couple I've seen.
Yeah.
White people do it all the time. And then that's a cute little video that goes viral because it's like, oh, it was a surprise. And like, oh my gosh. And all the black girls in the comments are like, I wish you would. I wish you would.
Absolutely not.
Okay. All in agreement. All in one accord. So, okay. Still talking proposals though. What are your thoughts on proposing at like a graduation or like the birthday or the milestone of the person that's getting engaged? Like not the proposee, the person that's proposing, not their birthday, not their graduation, the other one. Like, she done went through her bachelor's degree, got her master's degree, or like she went and got, you know, she went to law school, or she got her PhD, and he is going to propose. Or, as Ed put, Bridget Kelly, I guess, like at her after she ran the thing, the marathon,
26.2 miles, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so he proposed to her there. Yeah.
Yeah, because Ed was like, she had been building up for this for a time. Like, she's been talking about it. Because I was like, I don't know what y'all are talking about. He was like, did Toniah respond? I was like, I don't know who y'all are talking about. She did. She was like, I saw it. I don't know. Whatever. I had never heard of her. But.
You never heard of Bridget Kelly?
No.
Oh.
Have you, Cara?
Who is she?
Exactly. So 2 people.
So she was signed to Rock Nation back in the day.
Oh, she's a singer?
Oh, she's a singer. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's a singer, but now she's a podcaster. Her and Mandy B, they have a podcast called See the Thing Is. And I listen often because I really like her. And of course, like when she was out a while ago, you know, I really liked her music. Anyways, but then also she was on Love and Hip Hop for like a brief moment.
Atlanta?
I've never really watched.
New York.
Okay, then I wouldn't have. Okay, Bridget Kelly. And she ran a marathon, and she had been like training for it for months, and then her husband, I'm assuming.
Well, now fiance, yeah.
Because this was just like a month or so ago,
Yeah,
in November, early November.
Yeah. So she just ran it, and like they all went out to eat afterwards. And like, so she's sitting there with her medal on and, you know, like she's all sweaty and stuff like that. And he, you know, like stands up and gives a speech and like he daps her up and was like, you know, you did that. And then was like, I want to marry you too. And like, she started crying and all her friends was like, ah, you know, but yeah, I mean, like he did it in his own way. And honestly, like, I don't mind doing it that way. Like, I mean, of course, it happens at graduations all the time, you know, because all the family's there, you know, like for like a big life event, like people are already there. So it's like they don't have to come back you know, especially if they're traveling out of town. Like, I don't mind it. Now birthdays, I don't know about that, but like graduations, you know, I don't mind it.
I see the family being their point. That is actually a great point.
Right.
However, I think for me, it diminishes my accomplishment.
Right.
Because it makes it about you proposing.
Exactly.
Versus me reaching whatever my goal is.
Yeah.
So I struggle with them. I totally understand the graduation one. What I cannot stand, and I cannot stand a baby shower proposal. I think
oh my gosh.
They happen all the time.
All the time.
Baby, the baby shower proposal, it makes my skin crawl. I cannot, because you didn't want to marry me until right now. This is when I am 7-8 months pregnant with your child. That's when you decide, you know what? That's the one for me.
Good and prime.
And a lot of them don't even like go through with the marriage. And so it's like they're engaged.
They're engaged.
And then
it is a Band-Aid. It is a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
He don't even be there by the time the baby come. By the time the baby is like 6 months.
They broken up.
And she's making that TikTok video that share all the drama Silvana, I don't know the song, but where you keep scrolling and it's like he got arrested, you bailed him out, you went back to school, you got pregnant, he proposed, he got shot.
No, Ashleigh,
he got shot.
I have to like, when we're done with this episode, I'm going to find this video I just saw. This girl basically did one of those where she got pregnant by her ex-boyfriend, best friend, or something like that. He like bought her a new car, bought her like a little apartment, start saving up. She go back to school to become a nurse. No shade, but you know, well, you're. She went to school. She went to school to become like a tech, right? And then they was in the car, and then she posted this picture, and it's like some bloody Jordans, and she was like, he got shot at. Like they were in the car somewhere, he got shot out, and then he broke up with her. And then the next text was from him where he's like, "You had a gun, why you ain't shoot me?" And I was like, why are we like that? Like, niggas, why is this the end of, like, that was the end of the TikTok. Like, I guess she had a baby. I guess everything's fine, but they got shot at. And he was mad at her because she ain't shoot back. I know you had a gun. Anyway, everybody on TikTok shares way too much information, which
I can't.
Is a gift and a curse, but okay.
No, but I've seen that a lot, though. No baby showers.
I hate them. But I do understand, though, the milestone proposal because family's there. I get that. Mm-hmm. But I don't love it. I also wanted a separate day. I'm like, I want it to be an innocuous day, regular, you know. So.
Yeah. I think it also, too, depends on the person. Like, is this what the person wants? Yes or no? If they like it, I love it. But if they don't, then don't do that. Mm-hmm. Which leads me to my next one. So I had a conversation with someone and they were trying to figure out like wedding dresses and like when people are shopping for their gowns and stuff like that. And some of the motivations around like when you're getting engaged and things like that. And it was, if you like, one, if you didn't get the ring and or proposal style that you wanted, would you have said yes? And I was like, I think it would depend on the circumstances that prevented it. Like if it was, oh, that's what you said you like, but I'm just not going to do it because you'll be fine with whatever, then yes, we're going to have a problem. Because I'm like, when it comes to this type of proposal you want, or even the type of ring you want, some of it is not, this is mandatory. I'm telling you what I want. And for you to do it in the way, however it is, that means you hear me. and you respect me enough as your future spouse to just do this in some form or fashion that you know I would like. So do y'all like feel the same way in terms of whether it's a proposal or like buying a certain ring? Like, does it matter if it's like, if you say, okay, I want a photographer there to take a picture, like that's one of the details, or I want my family to be there, like that's one of the details you have, and then they don't do that. Like, you see what I'm saying?
So I think it's based on the circumstances. I do think that I'm a big proponent of allowing whoever the person receiving a ring is to pick the ring that they like, and for you to listen to that because they're the person that's going to be wearing the ring. I'm a big proponent of that. I think a lot of I will speak for men that I know that have not chosen a ring based on what their significant other wanted. It was based on their ego, and they were like, well, this is what I want to buy. And it's like, I think that in proposing to someone, you should be thinking about whether they're going to actually like it and wear it, because they're going to be wearing that ring for quote unquote forever. So I think, and if it is a sort of like malicious, sort of egotistical sort of situation, I do think that that's absolutely wrong, and you should listen to your partner. The flip side of that is that maybe you're legitimately trying to surprise them, and you may not do it in the exact way or manner that they may have wanted, but you just wanted to like pop it out. That I could see. But if it's like, I want my family to be there, and then you roll over in the bed and give them the ring, I think that is disrespectful. Like,
Right.
you know, especially if they're a very social person and they want it to be a social situation and you don't do it in that way. I do think,
Right.
you know, you have to know your significant other well enough to know whether they're going to accept that. And to say no in that instance, I wouldn't, because the question is, will you marry me? It's not, will you marry me with this ring? It's not, will you marry me in this situation? It's, will you marry me? And I would say yes, but then later be like, hey, we need to talk through. This ring is hideous. I told you what I wanted and you didn't get it.
Right.
So we need to talk through it. I picked my entire ring. I mean, I designed it and all, and I was like, hey, whenever you're ready, it's ready. So, clearly, I'm not the one to ask that. So,
I mean, I think that your partner should be able to give you exactly what you want. Not in a sense of like, I demand this, but like, like he listens to you, because that's a huge thing in marriage. Like, y'all need to be able to communicate, but then also listen, So the fact that, like, for example, Brandon, like, he would listen to every single episode to try to find out, okay, so what does Toniah want, And like,
that's really sweet, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, it was. Really it was. And then also, like, he would send me a lot of rings because I was all over the place. And I was like, you know what? I like this, but I want it to be gold. And like, I like this too. And like, honestly, it would be like a whole bunch of different rings. And he was like, you don't know what you want. And so he designed one himself, so he took pieces, so it's the fact that he listened. Like,
to be heard too.
Yeah, you want to be heard too. Yeah. So
I think men are usually the ones, like, when something like this is posted online, it's usually men that are in the comments that are like, you should have been fine with whatever. Like, you should have been fine with the fact that he proposed. You should have been fine with the fact that he gave you a ring. You shouldn't care what the ring looks like. You shouldn't care how he proposed. He proposed. Like, be happy that a man liked you enough to want to marry you. And it's like, there's a lot of little layers and negative nuances going on here where if you have gotten to that point with someone, wouldn't you want to give them something they're going to enjoy, something they love, a memory they want? Like, some people are fine with the Maggiano's proposal because they don't care. Some people are fine with like a Zales ring because it's like, that's in their budget. That's a style. It's cool. Maybe they don't like jewelry. Maybe they're a solitaire girl. Like, there are so many reasons, but it's a matter of do what your partner wants. Like, that's it. Like, just give them what they want. Like, you don't have to, like, saying you have certain standards for your proposal or certain things you want for your proposal, that doesn't have to strip the other of their creativity to execute that. Like, find a way to do these things in the parameters that I would prefer. But also, like, if something happens and for some reason you can't propose in that way because, I don't know, so there's a medical emergency or something else that happened that, like, maybe changed the time frame, or like the venue shuts down or whatever the thing and it changes. Okay, that's cool. You were still heard, you know? But like, this whole just be happy with what you got, no. There's too many men out here. We don't have to. We don't have to just be happy just because somebody stared at us. Like,
yeah. That's also just, I mean, that brings up just a whole swath of other issues. I mean, if you are saying that you should just be happy, you're not the type of person that anybody should want to be with.
Period.
You know, I mean, the goal of marriage is to literally give yourself to that other person and to focus solely on making them happy. And if both people are doing that, then both people are happy. Like, that's the goal. And if you can't even do it with the beginning of what this is supposed to be, like, I could get people can't afford everything. And like, of course you need to like have reasonable expectations. But if I ask you, you know, to get me a chip ring and you don't get me a chip ring, I'm going to be mad.
Right. Right.
Anyway, yeah.
We're all
Men
on
are
the same
just
page.
interesting.
They are.
Even good ones. They're interesting.
They are. Unrelated, before I go to the next one, that reminds me, so after we did the episode on cluster rings, some people were like, my husband or my fiance got me a cluster because they thought it looked really good. And I was like, yeah, because they know nothing about jewelry. So they see a bunch of little diamonds all coming together to be a big diamond, and and they're like, oh, that looks good. Or they're, you know, like, bling bling is still a thing in like certain people's head, and like gaudiness and stuff like that. And so they think
bling bling.
And you know, they think like the bigger the better. Meanwhile, it's like there's more to that. But yeah, that's sometimes why the girls get cluster rings. But you know, some of the girls want them.
Yeah,
there are many.
There are many who, you know, I was shocked that my brother's girlfriend wanted a cluster. She like, we were, because my brother was like, you know, they've been together for a while. We've been kind of talking about it. And I was like, okay, well, like, send me some stuff so I can like give hints or whatever. And she sent me like 5 clusters. And I was like, girl, you are 25 and you want a cluster? Like, it blew my mind. And we finally, like, over Thanksgiving, we were like, hey, we need to have a chat. Because baby, this ain't gonna happen. So let's talk through what you're gonna need to do, but let's find some ones you like that aren't clusters.
Yeah.
And we gonna have to, you know, you can jazz it up with a really nice band, and the band can be clustery, but we're not doing. And so we finally got her off the cluster. But people, I'm telling you, because what she said was, it's bling bling. I need a big ring. And I'm like, that's not it.
Right.
But people be wanting it. So.
Because it's big and it's cheap.
Yeah.
It's like, cheap. It gives the appearance of something that some people like. Some people really, and then others are like, this is horrible. I want to vomit. Like, so after we did the cluster ring episode, I put some clips on TikTok, and there were so many people that were like, if I get proposed to with this, I will literally kill myself. I'm like, oh my God, it's not that serious. But I also understand exactly what you're saying. Like, they are ugly. Like, they look like
not all of them are, but there are some, like the old school ones, you know. Yes. But I think they're reinventing the cluster ring.
True.
So,
Yes. Like some of the more modern ones now that are like not so, like to me, they remind me of Captain Planet. Like, like we're moving away from more the blocky kind of square ones, I think, with like, maybe like cute little like morganite little stones along the side or like a sapphire or something. And it feels very like art deco-y or something like that. And it's like, oh, okay, this is pretty. Or it's like in the shape of a star and that's kind of pretty. Like we're evolving. But then, Sears and JC Penney's and whatnot, they still got the
Yeah, it's about what people can afford. I get
yeah.
it. Like I do. Yeah, I have a friend who got engaged who the fiance did not listen to her at all, and she got a ring that she didn't like, and she's like, I'm gonna wear it, but I don't like it. And I'm like, you're gonna have to wait a couple years and then you're gonna have to get an upgrade. I mean, that's what,
yeah,
because I mean, you don't want to hurt their feelings,
right.
that's the other thing about it. But it's like, I also really want to like my ring because I'm the
Exactly.
one wearing it every single day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's a tough one. It's definitely a sore subject
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Oh, definitely. Okay. If you're in the bridal party, should you give the couple of honor or at least the bride a gift? Because there are people that think, no, I'm in your bridal party. I am the gift. Like, I am here. I am buying my dress. I'm getting my hair done, or I'm doing these things. I got your bachelorette trip, I'm taking time out of my schedule, my life to participate in this event for you. No, I don't have to get you a gift off the registry.
So I see both sides of that.
Okay.
I will say I've always gotten gifts for people that I was in their wedding, but it may not have been the gift I would have gotten if I wasn't in the wedding. So it wasn't as expensive because I am buying all of this stuff, but I still want to support, or I give like cash or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's an obligation. I do think being in someone's weddings are expensive to be in.
Yes.
And like, let's say you got kids, like you got to figure out where your kids gonna go. You got to figure out the dress. What if it's multiple dresses? This bachelorette, like the bachelorette, maybe it's somewhere really expensive. Like not only do you have to put money for the bride, but you also got to pay for your own way, and you got to pay for drinks and stuff and all of that when you're there. Yeah, I don't feel as strongly about people being in a bridal party and not getting a gift. But yeah, I can see why. But saying I am the gift is a totally you shouldn't be saying that. But I don't think there should be an expectation from brides or grooms about, yeah, I think the goal of a wedding, unfortunately, is you are celebrating your love, but also like celebrating the people who helped you get there. And I think the wedding is not for you. It is, but you're doing it for the other people. So I don't know. I don't feel as strongly about that one, but I do understand why people would feel strongly about it.
Okay.
So
I also agree. I don't think even my wedding party, I don't think everyone got me a gift for the actual wedding. Now I know everyone got me a bridal shower gift, but I don't think I actually got like like a wedding gift. But I didn't feel any type of way about it because I was like, like you all have done enough, like just being here and of course, like just showing up for me. So I really don't mind them not getting me a gift. Now my guests, I done paid for your whole meal and
all you had to do was show up.
yes. And so, but as far as my bridal party, if you can't afford anything, then just write like a handwritten like note or something like that. Like,
yeah,
I mean, and honestly, if you're in my party and like if I know like your situation, then I'm not really going to be expecting much from you anyway. Especially if you don't have it. So, I mean, just give me a card or, I don't know, do something really small, but like very thoughtful. But honestly, I'm not really expecting much from them. But that's just, me.
I expected something from everybody.
Are you serious?
Dead ass.
Well, like she's just playing.
I'm absolutely not playing.
Are you serious?
But I was just like, oh, okay, whatever. Because, child, it took 2.5 years. Oh.
Sorry, my little watch is like, I'm always
Siri
serious.
was like, huh? No, one, so that's one of my love languages, gift giving. So I was like, oh, people are going to do something. And I'll say for the most part, like all but 2 bought us something off the registry.
I hope one of them went to Nia.
No, Toniah.
Oh no! I got her 2 gifts. One for the first wedding, one for the second wedding.
Somebody say now this is
Toniah showed up and showed out. I was very appreciative. She gave us a KitchenAid mixer.
Ooh,
in addition to
friend.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I know my best friend.
I would never doubt you. I would never doubt you.
I was like, I know my best friend. Because she definitely, but you did go through some stuff, so, yeah.
So that's why I was kind of like, some people. But, I think, too, like, folks don't assume that they have to. They're like, oh, I'm in the wedding party, so I don't have to do that. Like, that's what I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think it's some of that. And I think people just don't know, like I had to stop getting mad because a lot of people just don't know etiquette.
That's it.
Like they really don't. And a lot of Black people just don't know. Mm-hmm. So it's like, the people in your wedding party, probably if they're your friend, like if they're in your wedding party, they're your really good friend, they should know.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, some older folks like giving me $20, baby, that you could have kept that,
right. You needed this more than I did.
Right. So, but I can see, because gift giving is your love language, like as a bridesmaid of yours, I would have known that because we're close friends. So like I would have given you something. Right. Or did something really thoughtful.
Yeah. Because I think that's the thing for me. Like I understand not everybody has the means, or maybe something's a little tight, something changed. I completely get it. I would have just been fine with, like you were saying, Toniah, a card. I love a good card. $4 or $5 at the Walgreens, Target, get the card, write a nice little message in there, take you 45 seconds to about 2-3 minutes, depending. That would have been fine. Like, to me, it's more of the acknowledgement versus the absence of. But, we're beyond it. I'm fine.
Are you still friends with the people?
Well, okay, so...
Oh, God. We don't have to talk about this.
Yes. So, your wedding vendors, whether you like them, whether you don't like them, but they are still the people that got you through the day. Do you acknowledge them at the end of the day? Like when you're posting on Instagram, you're posting your pictures, your sneak peek, whatever. Do you give these people credit or do you not? Because I would say yes. I feel like I have you this whole way. I'm gonna give you the credit because you were still there for me on my day. Well, what y'all think?
Okay, so a social media shout out, absolutely. I'm gonna do the whole 9 yards. I'm gonna post, all my vendors and all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. On the actual wedding day, like I've seen couples do like thank yous and stuff. Either you thank all the vendors or you don't thank any vendors. Yeah. Because it looks extra shady when you thank every single vendor except for like 1 or 2. Mm-hmm. It's happened to me. That's why I said that. So I'm bringing this up. So yeah, I think an acknowledgement is definitely, they are worthy of an acknowledgement. Now, if it was an absolute disaster and they were terrible, then no. I say kind of, and I'm also a big proponent of leaving reviews. But yeah, I do think an acknowledgement is the, it's the bare minimum. You don't have to like praise them and say they're the best ever, but you definitely, I think, should at least acknowledge them on social media when you post your pictures, for sure.
Okay.
I also agree with acknowledging them on social media. And then I also agree with, like giving everyone their flowers on the wedding day. Like, I don't remember exactly what I said, but I'm pretty sure my husband thanks all the vendors. Hopefully he did. I think he did. But for the vendors who I don't know where I want to go with this. For the vendors that you did not like or things did not go as planned, I'm all about being like, kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. I'm always like, I want to keep things peaceful and like to touch on like the reviews. I feel like like the vendor that I had remorse on, I feel like I don't want to give her a review at all, but I know that I should. I don't know. I kind of feel some type of way about it because I feel like I don't want to be mean and like destroy them because I could, because I could, but it's like, God, is this the right thing to do? I'm always conflicted, but yes, I do agree that you should, give everyone, at least tag everyone, on all the posts and stuff like that. And tell everyone, thank you, especially on the wedding day, because above all else, you should be polite. And, of course, like your mom or your dad, they taught you much better than that. So definitely thank everyone for being there for you on that day. Because they could have, honestly, like they could have just dropped the ball altogether and not come. So at least they came and, they did their job. And it might have not been well, but, like you said, they got you through. But I don't know. With the reviews and stuff, I don't know. That's
So
just me being kumbaya. Like,
we got to get you together. You're going to have to leave some reviews, baby girl. You're going to have to.
But now I'm thinking, like, everyone's page where there's like a whole bunch of good reviews, like all these 5-star vendors, everybody ain't no 5-star. Some of these folks gotta be 3.5, 4 stars, 4.1. Like,
but they don't give you that option though.
They don't give you the option, or they don't average it right. But also, there's so many people that just did not have a good experience that just didn't leave a review at all. Because I know for me, there was one vendor in particular I have not left a review for, and I could, but would it be like, I don't really want that person to lose any business. Like, I honestly, I don't care, really. Like, but would my story or like my experience really help somebody else, or would it be like, oh, she's a hater? Like,
if you're the only one, it would be. Yeah,
right.
I see what you're saying.
Because people too can evolve over time. Like, also, would I look like leaving you a review from something that happened 2+ years ago? You may have changed your business practices. You may not even be that same person. But then here I go with my fresh December 22 review. That's going to be the first thing that pops up. And that could like mess with your business. But then at the same time, you should have did something about it back then. And maybe this wouldn't be your problem. So I'm on both sides.
I mean, if you're doing it contemporaneously, like your wedding was in April and you did the review in April, I think that is what reviews are for. I'm also like a Yelp review person. Like I leave reviews on restaurants and stuff like that. So like I'm a big, I'm just a big review person. And I think it not only helps people in booking them or not booking them, but it also helps them to get better. Like I've never gotten a bad review on like a platform, but like I have had brides like come to me and be like, hey, these are the things you need to work on. And I haven't been doing it that long. So like, I have to take that and be like, you know what? You're right. I do need to work on X, Y, Z, and I don't need to do that again. And I think it just holds people accountable. I mean, I'm not saying you need to go on there and be like, they are the worst ever. You don't ever need to book them. But I think, being honest about your experience and like, and you can also like give caveats too. Like, hey, I know that this vendor was going through X, Y, and Z at this time, but this was my experience, I'm just a big proponent of that because I look at reviews for everything before I buy, book, go to a restaurant, anything like that. So I think it just, that's the purpose of them.
Yeah.
But you don't have to like go, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to go evil on them. I mean, I've gone evil on somebody and like, because it was an awful situation. Let me tell y'all what happened, y'all. It wasn't wedding related.
Okay.
So one of my friends is having surgery, like top surgery, because they are transitioning.
Okay.
And I got some cupcakes that were boobs. And it was like a no more titties is what the cupcakes were supposed to say. And they were supposed to be boobs. Mm-hmm. And I sent this lady, I looked at her reviews and she had 2 5-star. And I was like, it's risky because it's only 2. And like, they could have been her and one of her friends. But I'm going to go with her because I'm last minute. And like the party was on Friday and it was a Monday. And I book her and like, nope, took my money willingly, all of that stuff. Well, the day of comes and she keeps pushing back the delivery time. She's like, hey, I'm going to have to like push it back. So the party started at 6. So I was like, hey, I really got to come get him at 5. Like, that's my cutoff. She's like, absolutely, that's fine. Mm-hmm. So Ben goes to pick up the cupcakes. So I call him. I'm like, hey, how do they look? He's like, I'm going to just let you see them when I get there. Oh, my God. I was like, oh, God. So he gets here. Y'all, I'm going to have to send y'all a picture of these cupcakes. It looked like Iris made these cupcakes. Oh, no. They were all different sizes. They were messy. The letters looked like she got them just like out of a like little packet. And like the N and no more titties was an upside down Z to the side. So she didn't even get an N. It was a Z. It was a mess. I'm gonna have to send y'all. And I was I was so embarrassed because I was trying to do something really nice for my friend. And like all of my friends came over. So like these are people I had never met. So I'm like hosting at my new house with these raggedy ass cupcakes. Y'all, I was so embarrassed. So I wrote the most scathing review. It was like 1:30 in the morning and I couldn't sleep because I was so mad about these cupcakes. Oh so I wrote, it was like, do not book her in all caps. I'm going off. The lady at 6:00 in the morning. Now, mind you, I texted her that night and I was like, hey, these cupcakes are really sloppy. No response. So then it makes me even madder because I'm like, these look like it. And you still. So she calls me at 6:00 in the morning the next day, y'all. Hey, I just want to talk about your review. I said, yeah, what do you want to talk about? I knew that they weren't that good, but my baby was in ICU last night and I was like, if your baby was in ICU, you could have texted me and said, hey, my baby's in ICU. Right. I'm not going to be able to do these cupcakes. I'm not the devil. I'm going to be like, you know what? Fine. I'll have to make other arrangements. Just give me my refund so I can go. Right. I'm like, you're lying. You're literally creating a story.
On your baby.
I don't know. On your baby. Y'all, it was, I just had these cupcakes, I was so embarrassed. And I say all that to say that she gave me every single dime back. Good. Because she was like, hey, will you please take the review down? I was like, I will consider it.
Did you take it down?
I did after my grandma guilt tripped me. She's like, you're going to take away all her business. She's not going to be able to have nobody come to her. And I was like, she shouldn't. Right. She just provided. Oh my God. But I took it down because it was scathing. But if it would have been just, hey, these cupcakes weren't that good. And, consider this when you're booking her because she's not that good with design. Then maybe I would have left it up there. But it was a doozy of a review because I was pissed.
I would.
I agree with Toniah on not doing because it is a little bit mean. I see. Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because these are like, I'm like, this job. I'm assuming it's like their livelihood. And so I never want to take food out of their kids or whoever they're feeding. Like I would hate to do that to them. The way that I feel right now about one of my vendors, like I really wish, like I'm happy that I didn't do it right away. Because of what I'm dealing with right now. And so like right now I feel I have some anger in my heart. And so I gotta wait till, until I calm down. Cause I want to give her the most, as you said, the most scathing review.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, hey.
Yeah.
So I got to calm down first, and then we'll see, and I am praying about it.
That's very, very wise of you.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly commend you and I look up to you for that because I did not wait. And it was, yeah. But I understand. Yeah. Like you are, I
Yeah.
mean, you are taking food out of somebody's mouth and like I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But also you got to do good work. So it's like,
Right.
Very true.
you
Very
know, like
true.
there's a give and
There's
take.
a
So
whole reason for it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you have to get better, and there has to be some accountability. Like,
yeah.
you can't just be like, yes, people are going through stuff. Everybody is going through
Mm-hmm.
something. Like, but you still got to do what you said you was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Especially in the contractual way that was signed upon both parties.
Girl, speaking about the contract, make sure you get everything out of that contract. Don't let the vendors be like, okay, you have this part, I'll see you later. No, that's not what we signed.
Never again, but that's okay. It's okay. All right, for the road, tipping wedding vendors. Do we do it? Do we not? How much do we give them? Similar to reviews. Do we tip them in advance? Tip them after the wedding? Depending on their service?
I'm trash. I didn't tip anybody. I didn't tip anybody. I'm really trash. Now that you just said that, I really didn't tip anybody. I think I did tip my wedding planner.
Okay.
Because she was really good and she did really well, but I didn't. I am of the mindset that I have paid you thousands of dollars. Baby, take the tip out of that.
Yeah.
I don't think the tip is needed. I mean, if you have a plated dinner and like there are servers, maybe I could see people tipping in that, in that instance. But tipping someone who I have already paid a lot of money to, I just don't. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't.
I mean, if you got it,
yeah,
like if you got it, then do it. But if you don't have it, and I mean, I agree with Cara, like you've paid, I mean, like usually like a lot of these wedding vendors, I'm like, you're paying more than 2,000 plus, and
right.
It's like, like when everything is said and done, because you're paying for stuff on like all the way up until like the wedding day, to be honest.
Yeah.
And so I mean, even 10% is kind of like
right. I was just thinking off that 2,000, that's an extra $200, and it's that adds up. Y'all gotta pad this in your contract, like how restaurants do when it's more than 10, 12 people.
And honestly, I feel like a lot of them already do that because they know.
But then I also feel like some of them don't adequately like price their services, so they don't really make money from it, and they are relying on the tip. And sometimes the tip don't come.
Yeah. People be tipping though. That's the thing.
Oh yeah,
people tip.
There are like so many videos on TikTok of like the girls with their tip envelopes and making sure that either their planner gets it or one of the homegirls passes they tip envelopes around. And I was like, we didn't do any of that. We, that final payment, that's where the tip came from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for some, I was like, oh, do I want to tip you now, though? Because I haven't gotten my thing. Like, why do I want to tip you in advance when I'm not even sure what it's going to look like? Like my photos, my video. I mean, my photos were bomb. My videos came 8 months late. But I think I might have thrown in like a little 10%, a little 10, 20.
I mean, I'm like, you are spent when you get to the wedding day. You don't have. I mean, I know that like we were drained financially, so it's like
it costs so much.
Yeah. So I just are Black people tipping? Is this? I mean, because I tip in life.
Me too.
Like I tip late. I always give 20% no matter what.
Oh yeah.
Even if you were trash.
But like, okay, so not all the Black girls are tipping. Some are. But some are like, what am I paying you for then? Like, so there's that mindset of like, why am I paying you more? So that's that. But I think it depends on the service too. Like, are you the photographer or like you were saying, the caterer? Are you someone where like you have a full team and they're doing something and everybody sees that? Or is you and a homegirl? You know, like, so it depends.
Yeah. I honestly had never thought about tipping until, like, I've seen people tip vendors, but it wasn't something during my wedding I was like, oh, I gotta like consider that. I just, it's so much money that you're already paying out.
Yeah. But I know it's like etiquette to tip vendors, but some people don't have it. Like,
some people don't have it, and some people aren't worth it, because to me, tipping is like you went above and beyond. So to me, I like restaurants all day long. I will tip. Even if we take out to go, I'm a tip, because somebody had to cook it and somebody had to walk it to the table or walk it to the, the counter. But sometimes, like, you don't necessarily know if the vendor gave you tip-worthy stuff at the time the payment was due. Like, again, going back to the photographer and the videographer, like, they're the ones that you're still waiting on something, but you've already paid for it. The wedding is over and you're waiting. Do I give you this tip now? And then you don't do what you were supposed to, or you don't do it in the time frame, or do I tip you when you finally give me my stuff? What's your Cash App? I send it then.
Girl.
I mean, that's a good question though. The post tip, I didn't even think about that either. I mean, I think that is a valid point. Like, if the vendors that you're waiting on things for did a really, really good job, like you could tip them. I don't think you have to. But I do think you could, to just say like, hey, thank you so much. But also these days, posting my photographer was the best thing ever. Here's he or she's at on Instagram is just as valuable as whatever the amount of the tip you were going to
True. But some of these people put it in their contracts where you got to credit them every time you posted.
Oh.
Or at least somebody I work with did that. So I was like,
no, how they going to police that? What they going to do?
Right. But I'm like, every single time, it don't even fit the aesthetic I'm trying to go with on the story. But now let me put this in the corner just to serve a point.
I had a photographer, not for wedding stuff, but they were like, anytime you post this, you have to post one with the watermark. No,
absolutely not.
You cannot.
I paid for this. Why am I going to use a watermark? That's
no. And because you did that, I'm never posting the watermark. How about that?
Right. And it's so raggedy. I feel like, okay, when I'm on someone's page and I see their watermark all the time on their account, and I'm like, I'm already, who is stealing this? Nobody wants your pictures. Why do you have this logo? Why do you have this watermark in the corner or like in the middle of the photo? You ain't that deep. Anyway. That was fun.
We're going to move into the wedding vendor love. Cara, who would you like to shout out this week?
So I want to shout out this new photographer that I've been working with up here who actually does weddings. Her name is Sabrina, and her Instagram is @_shot by Sab, SAB as in boy. She's awesome. Very well priced. I think she's kind of new to the game, but her style is very, she does a lot of like dusk. So at dusk, so either early morning or like as the sun is going down photography, which I think it takes like, you have to be really skilled to do that. And she just does it very well. So she's taken several sessions for me or has shot my family. She's going to shoot us again like next week. And she does weddings, and she's in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. So shout out to Sabrina. Hopefully she gets some business because she's like a young girl and she's awesome. So
these are really pretty pictures. I'm on her IG.
She's really good.
I love it. And the fact that she does like all complexion.
Right. And I like that too. Cause she's like she's a woman of color. I feel like she's Middle Eastern, and like super cool girl. Like she's in her 20s and she's just doing really well. And she's really awesome. So I really like her stuff.
Perfect.
Oh, Sab. Okay, because I was typing SAV.
She
I'm
said
like,
Sabrina.
I can't find her.
Oh, I said B as in boy.
She said Sabrina. You said Sabrina.
Yeah, I wasn't listening. I wasn't listening that hard. I'm sorry.
Okay, Toniah, you don't listen. It's all fine.
Ashleigh, who would you like to shout out this week?
I'm shouting out this amazing wedding cinematography or videography company called KEJ Productions. Let me tell you something. So, I follow Ariel on TikTok. I discovered Ariel last year when she was planning her October wedding. For those that don't know, Ariel is the one who Lizzo let her borrow her dress for an award show. So that may have given you some context to like who Ariel is. She recently posted her like wedding video online. And I already knew that this wedding was going to be like a lot because one of our frienders to the show, B. Gandy, who did her makeup as well, was like, that wedding was just so beautiful because it was in Savannah. When I saw the video, I was just like crying. I was like, this is so beautiful. Just like you can, for a videography or cinematography company to be able to capture the level of emotion in the ceremony and then the like exuberance and the fun and the joy of the reception in the same highlight video, amazing. Because most videographers are actually not good at all. Like they're very templated. They give you the same type of aesthetic. It doesn't matter who's getting married. You're going to get the same type of canned templated video. You did not get that with them. So if you are looking for a videographer or a wedding cinematographer and you care about emotion and passion and for the people that are capturing your day to understand it and to really, really get it, you need to definitely look up KEJ Productions. I'm not 100% sure where they are located, but I feel like they're located everywhere. They are currently accepting clients that are getting married in 2023 and 2024. So, all of that to say, you need to get with them because they're not one of these folks that outsource their videography, which I don't even get me started on that. They're what you need. They are what you need. So, yes, you can find them on Instagram at KEJ Productions. You could go to their website, kejproductions.com. You can also find them on YouTube, Vimeo, Facebook, and Twitter as well. And you will always, of course, be able to find them on find.hueido.com. Who are you shouting out this week, Toniah?
Yeah, so this week I'm shouting out Danny Simone, who is based in Hartford, Connecticut. She owns a wedding dress design studio, and she is actually a true designer. She will actually sketch out your dress for you and make modifications from there. And so if you are in need of a Black wedding designer who knows her stuff, who's worked with several brands, several well-known brands that we know of, please reach out to her by DannySimoneStudio.com, or you can find her on Facebook, Instagram, as well as Pinterest. But she definitely has some dresses on her website. But if you are actually in Connecticut, definitely look her up. She's waiting to design the dress of your dreams.
So where can people find you if they want to know more? They want to book you? They want to just stalk your beautiful family? Like, tell us all the goodies.
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at the Cara D Little, if Twitter still exists after this goes out. Because people have been, it's been a feud for Twitter. Anyway,
Right.
And also my business page is at Wimberly Co. Co. I am taking a small hiatus from wedding planning to focus on being a mom because being a mom tried to take me out. Being a mom and wedding planning tried to take me out. And I was like, I need to step back for a little bit. But I am going to be back and better next year with new marketing and all of that stuff. You can also find me at wimberlyandco.com. Yeah. And I'm very excited to talk to you and meet you. All of my future 2023 and 2024 brides.
Yay. All right. So we said that we're going to start shouting out some of y'all that leave us like amazing reviews. We're going to do so starting today. So, we love a good review. We love it for you to go and review us, whether it's on Apple Podcasts or if you just leave us some stars on Spotify. But I want to start reading these reviews because some of them like really, really just touch my heart. And they touch Tania's too. But we want y'all to hear what some of these girl. We want y'all to hear what some of these other amazing Hue Boos have been saying. So to start out, I'm going to read this review. The most recent review we got from Pretty Poodle 03 said, everything I never knew I needed. I stumbled across this podcast and so glad I did. As a 23 bride, the podcast discusses current topics and does a great job spreading so much great knowledge. Even after the wedding, I'll still be an avid listener. Keep them coming. From the future Mrs. Paul. Thank you so much, girl. Like, we try. So if you love us as much as Mrs. Paul does, leave us a review. And again, if you leave us a review and you hear your review being read here, hit us up. We may sing you something. We will sing you something.
And I love that y'all are going to listen after the wedding.
Yes.
Both Ashleigh and I have gotten married and we are like past that stage. However, I really feel like, these episodes will benefit you and I, to be honest, because we're not just talking about weddings, but we're also talking about being a wife because, y'all, I really feel like we just need like a little support group. And this is
the newlywed wife group, like everybody that got married within the last like whatever window. Like, come on, let's touch and agree. Let's share some recipes. Let's have a woo-saw.
Oh gosh, yes. Because there's no handbook on how to be a good wife. So thank you all for sticking with us. I know that it was a little confusing to some, but yes, we will be talking about weddings and this wife life.
A little bit of both. It gives us room to continue to talk weddings and also the other stuff as well. So yes, thank you, and leave us a review and you may hear your review being read out loud next week, you know? But anyway.
I want y'all to go to find.hueido.com and look at our vendor list. Everyone that we've shouted out for the entire 3+ years that we've been on air, everything's there.
Yes. And not only are all of the vendors we've ever shouted out are on there, all of the wedding vendors we've had on as guests are on there as well. So you can find more information about them and their lovely vendor services on find.hueido.com. And don't forget to leave us a review. Follow us on social. We're Hue I Do Wed everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Pinterest. I'm sure I'm missing one. But basically, if you're there, we're there.